Hey folks, this is the Wizard, Wizard of Mo Games, and we are back at the Wizard's table, and we are attempting Bag of Dungeon 2, The Cursed Forest. If anybody saw the first instructional video playthrough, you can remember that I did die most heinously, but I decided to go ahead and drop through this again, and this time, instead of playing solo, I'm going to play as two individual characters. I'm going to use the same people that I had, and this time we do have 3 lives apiece instead of 1 like solo. In solo, if any character completely dies, it's done. The adventure is over. I had only revealed 10 spaces on this before we were destroyed. And believe it or not, it wasn't monsters that took us out. It was traps coming out of the items. So we would defeat monsters and then pick up their stuff, and half of them were trapped. And that's what ended up taking us out. So this time, we're going to have the 3 lives. We're going to have the full health. And we're going to have all the action points. And we're still going to use this little bird token to determine who the active player is, because you can actually enlist the help of other people. You can tag them in, and they can give you more dice in combat. I made a mistake early in the previous game where I didn't enlist help when I should have. It all ended okay. I mean, this guy died, so there it is. So we have our starting token. So these action points are going to allow you to discover new tiles, to move through those tiles, and any items that you pick up, some of them may use action points to activate. Some of them are permanent, some of them are one-shots. So we're going to pop him on the starting tile. We're going to start with Neokor the Half Ogre. He gets 3 combat dice when he fights, and he starts with 1 random weapon, shield, or armor, whatever's drawn first, and he cannot use spells in the game at all. He has 3 lives, 10 health, 5 action points a turn. So we're going to reach in, we're going to pull out, and that's a trap. I'm not going to use that. We're going to draw out. First drawn. Boom. What is this? This is... looks like he got a giant spider carapace. So this is armor that he can wear, and he takes 2 less damage per turn, which is good because there are certain items that say when you take damage, you would get poison, but if you can prevent the damage, that would keep you from getting poison. So this is going to get slotted into his armor slot right there, and that's just to start out the game. Over here, Wiseleaf the Guardian gets 2 combat dice plus 3 modifier. He is immune to poison. He has natural bark skin armor, so he takes 1 less damage, but he cannot use boots, armor, or shields. So that's where we start. We're going to go ahead and start here. I'm going to burn the first. I'm keeping the bags of items, the bags of tiles, and the bag of monsters off to the side because I'm going to have to dig through them constantly, and nobody wants to see my arms moving around all the time. I also put the tokens off to the side because, as you saw in the first video, this thing is chock full of dungeon tiles. It's going to fill up this table. I might run off the edge. I don't know. So I moved everything off to give me a little bit more room. The dice roller, I can actually move it around, and if I've got to move the characters, I will as well. So these are off to the side, and this thing can take up some space, even on my little table. I might be able to fit it in. So here we go. Action point number 1. Reveal the next tile. Now we're digging in here, and we're going to pull out. Hey, look, a straightaway. Oh, but it looks like this is the special tile. It is. It is the Boneyard. So when it comes into play, we put a token on it, and that will allow somebody to go in there and spend 2 AP, and when they do, they can heal back up to full and discard all of their poison. Alternatively, they can remove 3 kill tokens. Whenever you kill a monster, you keep the token because there's a method where you can score for that, but you could remove 3 of your kills to draw an item. Well, once it's used, it's done. So it's a one and done. I think I'm going to leave it there. And, you know, once we're a little injured or need some help, we can always run back to it. So that's cool. We can walk through this freely. If we want to stop, we can stop and we can pull that. I've been referencing the little rule book here. It's got all kinds of helpful, easy to find information. All right. So my next action point will be to move into that tile, and let's use another one to reveal another tile through this forest. And what we have, there are dark edges on these, and they will have to fit to where there's a path. So I'm going to use this, and it looks like it is a left turn. And there is a monster there. So we can't see it in the woods, so we put a token on there for now, because later on when there's multiple paths to go, you might reveal a tile that has a monster and decide, I want to go backtrack and go over here and try something else, or go heal beforehand. But in this case, I'm just going to spend an action point to move in there. And when I do, we toss this token, which means this particular tile will no longer get a monster unless there's something in here that allows it to repopulate. Now notice that each monster has a number below it, a letter and a number, and in the rules it said this is for future expansion, so it's quite possible that there will be a game where you will repopulate them, maybe a scenario of sorts, so we shall see. So now I get to reach into the big bag of monsters. Now these monsters are two-sided. Let's pull it out and let's see. All right, so the purple side is for an advanced game, for people that may have played through Bag of Dungeons 1 and then go into 2. You can have more advanced figures, but we'll be using the green side. And this just happens to be a hazard. It says it is quicksand, roll 1 die. On a 1 to 2, I exit, swamp, or lose a life. Okay, so that's what that is. It is a trap, and I believe that will always be there. So let's go ahead and roll that die. We're way off screen here. It is a 2. Exit swamp or lose a life. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and use that last action point to step back 1, because it would take an action point to reveal 1, and then I would be standing there and I would lose a point of health. But look at this. This says I'm -2 on the damage. It does have an exclamation point. So let's go look and see if it tells me what it does. It remains in play, quicksand. When on its tile, roll a dice. On a roll of 1 to 2, you are drawn under and appear on any other swamp. If there are no swamps in play, you lose a life. Okay, well, never mind. I don't get to run away. I would pop up onto a swamp tile, which we have not revealed, so I do take a point of damage. Okay, so every time you go there, a 1 and 2 gives you a chance to pop up somewhere else. That's almost like a little teleport. So I still have an action point then. Let's reveal the next tile. And it looks like there will be a monster here. This is a straight path. We're going to go ahead and put this there because I will end my turn. I'm going to check the quicksand one more time. It remains in play. When you're on this tile, you roll that. So at the beginning of my next turn, I'll be rolling that again to see if it sucks me under and pops me up elsewhere. So that ends my turn. And one thing to note about this is that your action points replenish at the end of your turn. So if during my turn I had requested help, this individual would choose whether to help me, but they would have to spend action points to actually move there. And it would cost me an action point to request their help. And then once they got there, I would get an additional die to roll in combat. Helpful, but when their turn starts, they're going to have less action points to use on their turn. And then at the end of their turn, they will replenish their action points. Negative part of this, yes, you get the bonus die when fighting. It's still the individual fighting, but if the individual takes damage, you take half damage for being there and helping. So there is a little bit of give and take with that. All right, so his turn is ended. I'm going to go ahead and replenish his action points and move first player or active player over here. And he will drop down here into the start. This is the tree guy, Wiseleaf the Guardian. And he says, wow, he is immune to poison, and he does have barkskin armor. And he cannot use boots, armor, or shields. All right, so for the first action point, I'm going to go ahead and move him forward. We don't need to use action points to investigate this boneyard. We're going to do this. We're going to move into the space. I have to roll for quicksand. So we're going to roll it, and 6. Hey, nothing happens. Great. Now another point is going to move me over onto this monster. We're going to take this token and toss it, and we're going to reveal a monster from the monster bag. So here we go, and what do we get? We got giant rats. Looks like they have a health of 9. They are poisonous. They roll 2 dice plus 2 to their roll. All right. Over here, I'm rolling 2 dice plus 3 to my roll. Now, do I need help with these guys? Well, I'm going to set their life here to 9. And there are some interesting little stats on this health track that if they have less than 6 health and you kill them, they don't drop an item. If they have 6 to 9 health and you kill them, they drop a single item. And if they have 10 or more health, they drop 2 items for you to pick up. So 9. We're pretty evenly matched. Let's just see if we can take them out in one fell swoop. I'm going to go ahead and request a tag. Neokor says, sure, I'll help. I've got this carapace. So he will spend a point to move there. And there he does. And since it's not his turn, I would think that he is not activating that hazard currently. So he is now there, so Wiseleaf is going to be able to roll an additional die. So let's see what we have. All right, well, it looks like the enemy has rolled 5 plus 2 is 7. And Wiseleaf, with the assistance of Neokor, the half-ogre, has rolled 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 minus their die roll of 7 is going to be 8 points of damage. Going to put them down to 1 point of life remaining, which means we do have another round of combat to do. And for a quick second, I'm going to check this tagging because does this die remain? Yes, this die will remain for the entire fight. So, we will roll again. And I did read something there that said something about you would encounter hazards along the way. So I should have rolled quicksand for him. This may be a take back all the way back. Let's see. Boom. Okay, so I did not take damage from the quicksand. I am there. We've done our first round. Let's do our second. And, oh, well, the monster has rolled extremely well. 14. And we have rolled a mere 13. So 13 is going to be take a single point of damage, and I believe the other person will take half of that rounded up. So he will take a single point of damage as well. But we will check that. Like I say, we're still learning this game, but we're going to figure it out. And by the time we're all done, when you take damage, they take half that, rounded down. Well, look at that. So he will not take a point. Quick and easy reference. You're going to love this book. So we're going to go into another round. Let's take this guy out. And it looks like we may do it. Now, you notice they're rolling doubles. That's just doubles. You add it up. It's 10 points. But when you're rolling combat dice, not with the modifier, just the dice. If you roll the same face on all of your dice, so if you're rolling 2 and you get a double, or if you're rolling 3 and get a triple, it's considered a critical hit, and you would take that and multiply all of that by 2, the dice roll, and then add your bonuses to it. So just something to think about. So we're 10 points here. This is 10 plus 3 is 13. The 3 is the difference. We have eliminated these giant rats. But guess what? We were hit once by the giant rats, and they deal poison. I did not get hit. I did. So what poison does is characters that have the little poison symbol up there, if you are damaged by them, if you get hit by them, you're going to get poison. And poison basically fills up your inventory slots. So you have handheld and magical items that can be used. Over here he has armor and boots that can be used, single-handed, two-handed weapons, and then a backpack. So right now, it doesn't matter where I put it, it's going to block that, but anytime you get inventory, you can move it around. It just reduces the number that you have, so you can move it around. And once poison is cured, hey, guess what? I have bark skin armor. I should have taken 1 less damage. So I did not take it. We can retract this. No poison. Thank you. And we still got the kill. Great. So this guy started with 9. We're going to draw 1 from the item deck. I can backtrack when I want. Hush. All right, here we go. So the item we get, there's been a lot of traps. This is 1 AP for 1 use. It's tree grubs, 2 dice of health, and can be shared. Wow, okay. So I would put this into an area. Let's just put it in my backpack. So we could eat these tree grubs. I could spend an AP to use it once and it would go away. And when we eat them, we roll 2 dice of health and we could share that health between us. So that's cool. Hey, let's eat some grubs. Let's get healthy. But we don't need it right now. I don't want to waste it on this guy. Why does he have a single point of damage? Because of the quicksand, and armor is not going to stop the quicksand. All right. So this is still Wiseleaf, who has 1 more point of AP left. He's going to go ahead and use it. And when he uses it, he will reveal a tile. And what do we got? Hey, look at that. It's one of the seeds. So there are 4 seeds that you can go for in this game. And when you go in there, you can roll a die to acquire it. I believe it goes into an inventory slot. And these you're going to need at the end of the game when all tiles are revealed. You're going to place the exit token. And when you do, all of these guys need to get there and take the seeds to heal the tree. when that happens, the boss comes out onto the start tile, and he's going to try to get you guys, because once all of these get here, you're going to pick them back up, and you're going to run back through this forest, and there are 4 areas of vines that are poisoned, and they have red vines in it. The 4 areas, and you're going to go there and place these seeds to heal them. But right now, we're going to put this seed down, and each seed has a special ability for whoever is carrying it. So the green one allows you to re-roll a die, any 1 die per turn. The yellow one gives you protection from spiders, and anyone else on your tile is protected from them. You won't roll for spiders when you go into webs, and you can move through webs. So if there was a web here and a web way over here, you could sort of teleport. The blue one, you do not have to use APs to cast spells. Well, apparently this is not a spell. It is just, use an action to eat them. And then the red one will heal poison, and you become immune to poison. It'd be really great for him to have that, because he already starts with poison immunity. So that's cool. And those are the 4 seeds, but that's only while you carry them. When you put them down to heal the forest, you're going to lose the ability. All right, so he revealed this, which opens things up for Neocore. He has 1 less AP because he assisted Wiseleaf earlier. At the end of his turn, he gets all his APs back. So back over here, he says, well, hey, I'm going to use one of these and run over here and grab this seed. But I have to roll to see what happens. And it's a 3. Hey, I can pick it up. So I'm going to go ahead and pick it up, and I'm going to flip it over so it tells me I can re-roll any 1 die per turn. I'm going to put it in my backpack. So I'm carrying this seed around. All right. Now, it isn't 1 seed per player. It's what can you carry. You might have 1 player go all the way down there with all the seeds and then trigger it and try to run around and put them all in there. But it's probably best to mix it up a bit so that you can go different directions. So my next AP is going to reveal the next tile. And monsters galore. But this is going to turn into a 3-way. Let's do it this way. And that'll put it up and down, and then we can go left and right off of that. So there will be a monster there, but my next AP is just going to put me on there and reveal it. And dig deep into this bag, and what do we have? It looks like we have revealed a ghoul. Only 2 dice, but he adds 6 to it, and he has 13 health. So I will track that here. 13 health. He's going to roll 2 dice plus a 6. I'm rolling 3 dice. So it's like he's automatically getting a 6 every turn. I'm going to spend my last AP and ask Wiseleaf, please, can you help me? He says, well, I'm giving up all my actions, but okay, whatever. So he spends 1 to move here. He will spend another to move into the same space. And we are in there together. We're going to get 1 more die to roll. So we are rolling these versus a 13, and here we go. Well, this does not look bad at all. That will be an 18. This is a 9 plus 6 is a 15. They would only take 3 damage of their 13. I can re-roll any 1 die once per turn, but I think I'm okay with that. 18 straight versus their 15, so they're going to take 3 points of damage. 1, 2, and 3. Now this guy's going to drop 2 items. That might help us out. Let's go into the next round. All right. Look at that. I rolled the exact same thing. 18 and he rolled 2 plus 6 is 8. That's 10 points. It's enough to take him out. Boom. 2 hits. 2 hits takes out this guy. Now, whenever you defeat a guy, you put it next to your character because you can turn them in here to gain items. But also it can be used for scoring at the end of the game if you want to score things up. I haven't looked at that too much, but that was a major victory. Look at the snake eyes, man. Took him out. Now we're going to get 2 items. But I've learned, oh, look, loot. No, there are traps in here, and it hurt me before. There's going to be one, and here is going to be another. Let's pop these guys up. Boom, a fire staff, and a crossbow. All right, so there is range combat in this game as well, and you have to have direct line of sight. But of course, once you do that, the monsters will charge you. So, you know, if you're pinging them from a distance, they're not just going to stand there and keep taking it. So I was active player, and I can look, but what do we have? I cannot use spells, which means I probably cannot use magical items. This is a fire staff. I could give it to the tree guy. He's rolling 3 dice. He's got 2 die plus 3. If I give him this, he uses 2 action points to use it. It has a range of 1 to 3, and it does 1 die of damage. So it basically pings them from a distance, and it's only a one-handed item. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll give him the fire staff, and I think we can give these items to each other. Can we? Okay, it says you draw the items, you put them on your player card. You can actually put them face down on your card if you want to hide them from other players. So let's look at inventory management. You can carry anything. Items trading. Adventurers on the same tile may trade items even when tagging. You may also drop unwanted items on your current tile. You can switch items, spells, or weapons freely between your inventory spaces, even during combat. So we can trade items, and we are on the same space. So it's like, hey, let me give you that staff, tree guy. It's made out of wood, and I can use a 2-handed item for 3 AP. My range is 1 to 4, and I can do 1 die damage, whereas 6 equals 12 damage. Wow. But then it breaks. So you roll 1 die of damage, and if you do the 6, it does 12 damage, and then it breaks, and you get rid of it. Well, that might help against somebody. It's 2-handed, so I'm just going to put it in between both hands, and if I have to, I'll just toss it at some point in time. But I do have this re-roll any 1 die per turn, so if I get the 6 and break it, I could say, do I want to really do 12? Or do I want to just re-roll it and maybe do lesser damage and keep my crossbow for another turn? That's awesome. I am out of action points, so I will end my turn and move the marker over to here. So I've used 2 of my action points already. Let's go ahead and let's use an action point to reveal the tile heading up. Let's see what it does. Well, look at that. It's just an empty space. Sort of just scout around. Let's go ahead and use another action point to look down and see what's south. And, oh, there is a monster there. It is a 3-way. I could block from going in there, but I think we want to keep this going. Let's go ahead and put this there. So I've revealed a monster here don't know what it is. If I use my last action point to go in there, I can't request help. So what I'm going to do is just use my last action point to move up here. Oh, sorry, move up here. And that's what I've done. I'm going to end my turn. I'm going to go ahead and replenish my action points. I'm going to move this over here to the half ogre. And you know what the half ogre is going to do on a fight. He's going to use an action point to move down here and reveal the monster. So the monster is over here. What do we have? So we've each defeated one. So this guy comes out. It's a snapper. If he damages you, you will take poison. Okay. He has 8 health, so he would drop 1 item if you defeat him. He's going to get 2 dice plus 4. I'm currently rolling 3 dice, but look what I have. I have a crossbow. Range is 1 to 4. Does it mean I have to do it from a distance, or can I do it in the tile I'm at? I don't know. Let's just fight him straight out. I do get a die reroll, and I have some armor. So let's go ahead and just say, let's try to punch him out. You know, the tree guy's up there. He doesn't even know what I'm doing down here. And I could be hurting him. 12. I have 12 straight out. So how does that work on a tie? Well, combat, you fight, add any other modifiers. Lower score takes that. There's got to be something here that tells about it. Slug it out. Nope. I don't see. Oh, here we go. Melee combat. You cannot use ranged weapons against an opponent in the same tile. That answers that question. You can escape if you have AP. You can run away, but you will take damage. And you can tag another adventurer to help. Combat. The escape phase. The fight. Well, you know, if there's no difference, it's just no damage. It just bounces. It doesn't say anything about a tie because there is no damage to deal. So 12 versus 12, boom, it's a bounce. That's what we're going to play. If you think it's anything different, you can put it in the comments, but I'm not going back to fix it. All right, here we go. I've got 10 to 11. I would take a point of damage, but I get -2 to the damage because I'm wearing this giant spider stuff, so I don't take any, and I take no poison. This looks like a pretty even battle until now. What I got? 12. He's got 7 and 4 is 11, so he will take a single point. Really? All right. Meanwhile, the tree's up there saying, what's going on down there? I'm saying, I've got it handled, I think. And now we got a 15 versus a 9. So he just hit me for 6. And I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. So let's go ahead and let's flip this to re-roll this die. Hope it does better. And it does. Look at that. So I have a 13. He's still sitting on a 15, and I prevent 2 damage. Perfect time to re-roll the die. So it bounces. We're going to go another round, and maybe this time I'll get him. So what do I got? I've got 12 points up there. Here I have 13. So I hit him for 1 again. Well, this is low. This is just a little poisonous snapper guy. It's that +4 that he gets is so bad. There's an 11, and he has 9, so he's taking 2 more. Okay, so we haven't taken any damage. That's fine. He can keep snapping at me. I've got armor, and we'll see what happens. So I'm sitting at 13, and he is sitting at 11. He's going to take 2 more. All right, and oh yeah. How is this going to work? I've got a 6, 6, 5. He has a 6, 4, 5, 15 to 17. Takes 2 more. Whew! I took out the snapper. So I'm going to collect him as a kill, and I'm going to get 1 item, and I'm not going to let the old tree guy know what just happened. I'm going to grab it up and see what I get here. All right, 1 item. It is an ogre's whip. +1 combat, or range 1 to 2, 2 AP, 1 dice damage. So I could use this in melee to give me my 3 dice +1, or I could choose to spend a couple of action points and hit him for a single dice of damage at range. Okay, why don't we put the crossbow in the backpack here? We're not going to use that. And let's go ahead and put the ogre's whip in one of my hands. Since I am a half ogre, I might want to use that item. Wow, I still got a lot of AP left here. So let's go ahead and reveal the next tile. Which will be going right and left. And hey, while you were out, guess what I did? I found the blue one. The blue one. I can cast spells for free. That'd be better for him because I can't use magic. But let's put it there. And say, hey, okay, now what are we going to do? Well, let's spend an AP to go over here. And let's see if we can snatch it up. All we need is anything but a 1. Let's put it back in. It could have been a 1. All right, it's a 4. So I have just snatched up another 1. Man, oh man, we already have 2 of these. We're still going to have to go through the whole dungeon first, but 1 more. Let's reveal what's coming up. And another monster out that direction, folks. But I don't think I'm ready for that. So I'm going to go ahead and use my last AP to move back over here. And then we'll start looking to see what's down that way. I'm going to replenish my AP. I'm going to refresh this once per turn roll. And turn this up. Use no for spells. I'm not anywhere where I can trade with him right now. And I think I need to be in the same space to do that. So I'm going to move this on over here. Old Treebeard, or Wise Leaf, the Guardian, wonders what was going on. So he's going to use 1 of his AP to reveal what's up above. And it looks like he has revealed another enemy. They're in here, folks. There's lots of them. He knows I'm pretty far away, but he said, you know, last time he wanted me to use up all my action points to get there. We know he's up there, and we know there's one over there. Do I want to blind attack him at range with this staff? cost 2 of my action points. Let's do it, man. Let's shoot him. Let's go 2 action points. Range 1 to 3, 1 die of damage. And that's going to go to whoever that monster is. So we're going to roll it in. Roll it good. Yeah. It's going to do 5 points of damage to this guy. It's going to wake him up. He's going to be like, hey, where did that come from? And we'll see what happens. We're going to flip it over on the other side. And it is a forest sprite. And guess what? 5 health. He killed it at a distance, a blind kill for 5. He doesn't drop anything, but he was poisonous. Look at that. A kill from a distance with the old fire staff. That is awesome. Doesn't get anything for it other than the kill. But that's fine. He did clear that tile, so he will spend another action point to move forward, and he's not going to tell the ogre what he did. And then we'll spend 1 more to reveal the next tile, which is putting us close to the edge of the board. All right, so this is one of those poisonous tiles. Now these, at the end of the game, we're going to have to heal those with these seeds. But we can't do it until we get to the end of the game. I'm going to move this down just a bit. Move this here. Move these. And of course this is going to build different every time. So he has revealed the tile. He is out of action points. He's going to go ahead and replenish that. And we're going to move this over here to the half ogre. The half ogre says, well, you know, let's go ahead and burn one of those. And let's see what's right next to me here. Now, folks, there are a lot of these tiles. Now, so this, if I did this way, it's just going to dead end. If I do this way, we're going to be able to go down from here as well. So, guess what I did, Wiseleaf? I've got monsters on both sides of me, and I don't see any other way out of here. And he says, well, I've got poison vines to the top if you want to go through there. And, oh, Wiseleaf is immune to poison. He could walk right through that. I should have... Actually, he didn't have any action points at the time, so that's fine for him to be there. Yeah, let's go ahead and move and see what this guy brings to the table. And we're going to go dig in the monster guy, and we're going to find another snapper. You know, last time I fought this guy, he was pretty tough. But now I've got this ogre's whip, and I can re-roll one of my dice. I'm starting with 3 attack dice plus 1 now that I have the whip, and he is still rolling 2 dice plus 4, and he has 8 health. Wait, 8 health? Yeah, that's what the last guy had. All right, so I will get a single item for this. That's cool. It's all about the loot. So let's give it a roll. See what we got. And, oh, those ones are bad. But he might have done just about the same. So he is at 10, and I am at 8. Do I want to re-roll a die now and possibly get a few points on him? I do have my armor. I'm not going to take any damage from him. Let's just save my re-roll from now, and let's just bounce and try it again. Oh, look at this. Same diff. He rolls a 10. This time I roll a 7. I can't stop all of that. So let's go ahead and flip this to re-roll one of these dice and hope for something better than a 1. How about a 5? All right, so he is sitting at 10. I am at 11, so he will take a single point of damage. Perk. Not much, but better than taking damage and getting poisoned, eating up my slots. Let's go on to the next round. This is looking much. I'm forgetting my plus 1. He should have took at least 1 extra point. because I do get a +1. In fact, even on the bounce, he should have took 1. He's currently at 6. I am at 18. He's going to take 12. We're going to take him out. I'm going to grab this dude and put him in my stack O kills, and I'm going to get another item. I am filling up with inventory, but I could always toss that crossbow if I don't like it. And let's just hope I'm not getting a trap right now. What do we get? It is Impaler Vine. 1 die damage to everyone on the tile. So we're going to roll 1 die of damage, and maybe I can stop some of it. I did. He did 1 point, and I can absorb 2, so I will not get poisoned. Thank you, Mr. Impaler Vine. It was just a pinprick. So I still have action points. So let's go ahead and spend 1 of them and see what's below us. Looks like another turn back. Let's spend 1 to go there, and let's spend our last one to reveal 1 in that direction. What is it? It is... Oh, so we are in a precarious situation. No, we got it here. It looks like it's going up around the corner, and we do have another enemy here. So our length is starting to get up into our play area here. That's fine. I have used my action points. I'm going to replenish my action points. I'm going to flip over my seed use for my reroll. And we're going to move this first player token over here to Wise Leaf the Guardian. Alright folks, I didn't die this time. I think I'm just going to press on a little further and see what happens. This guy is not here yet, by the way. So let's go back over here to Wise Leaf the Guardian. And Wise Leaf is going to go up through that poison area. So he's going to go 1. He is immune to poison. You would take poison for going into this, but let me see what that thing does. It is back here in the poison section. Poison. If you land on a red vine tile, or you take damage from a spider or from a monster showing poison, you are poisoned. Alright? But he's immune to it, so that's good. So let's use another action point to reveal what's on top. Let's hope we have a T of some sort. And nope, we got to turn the corner. Let's turn the corner and go this way. Cool. That's going to put us right at our range there. Alright, good. Let's spend another AP to move there. Now we're splitting up. I don't know if that's a good thing to do, but let's see. Let's spend another AP to reveal the next tile, which is a web. It's a spider web. So if I go in there, I'm going to draw a bunch of spiders up. Let's do it, because I'm immune to... Oh no, am I not? They still get combat damage. Spiders. They roll 2 dice plus 1 for each spider present. I could kill them, and they won't poison me. Let's do it. It would be my last action point. I couldn't ask for help, but he's so far away anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just do it. Let's go on in. Let's go on in. Hey, spiders! Come and get me. And we roll 2. So 2 little critters. They're going to roll 2 dice plus 2 versus me. So we're going into a combat round. I am using 2 dice plus 3. They're using 2 dice plus 2. Pretty even. They will not poison me, and I can take 1 less damage with my bark skin armor. Let's see if there's anything else these little spiders do. I think that's it. I think their whole thing is to annoy you and tie you up. But you can travel from spider web to spider web. You cannot be poisoned more than once per turn. You can heal poison. Okay. I thought there was something. Oh, here they are. Webs. When entering an unoccupied web, roll the die. On a roll that's 3 to 6, you may proceed as normal. On a roll of 1 or 2, spiders drop from the trees and attack. So I should have rolled first. Let's just say they rolled it. There it is, 1. Boom, they dropped and attacked. Okay, cool. Roll a die, place that many number of spiders. They only have 1 health each, but they roll 2 dice in total, plus a modifier equal to the number of spiders. Reduce the modifier by 1 as each spider is killed. Surviving spiders are removed at the end of combat. That's if you died. And if you take damage from a spider, you are poisoned. No, I'm not. And web walking. You may travel directly between 2 web tiles for the cost of 1 AP per move. But you must check for spiders each time you land on a web. Directly. So it's like teleporting. Spider web, 1 AP gets you to another one. And then if you needed to, you could get to another one and so forth. Okay. But you got to check for spiders each time. Okay. Well, I don't think we have any other spider webs, so we are going into a quick combat. And I have rolled an 8 plus 3. They have rolled an 8 plus 2. That means they are taking 1. It will kill a spider. And their bonus is now decreased. They still get 2 dice. Let's try to whack the other one. Oh, this one does not look as good for me. Looks like he rolled a 10. I rolled a 5. Plus 3 is an 8. I would take 2, but I in fact will only take 1. But I do not get poisoned. All right. One more. Let's get this guy going. Looks like this. On a tie, 5-1, 5-1. He has plus 1, but I have plus 3. I'm going to kill the last spider. I'm not going to get any treasure. They don't drop loot. Come on. All right. That's that. And I think that's all my action points. I will replenish those action points. I will pass this over. And meanwhile, this guy's down here going, oh boy. I could spend all my action points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and not even get all the way over there. And it looks like that web is a 4-way. But if I was to expose a web down here, we'd be able to fast travel between them. I would have to fight a monster to do it. Let's do it. 1. To move in there. That's going to reveal what we got. Let's see what it is. Monster. It is, a dark elf. Dark elf. He will have 10 health, which means he'll drop 2 items. He gets 2 dice plus 5. I'm getting 3 dice plus 1 because of my ogre's whip. Let's go for it. See how this dark elf does. Oh boy, he just rolled a 13. I rolled 16, a 17, so I'm going to hit him for 4. That's nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got him down to 6. That was a pretty high roll on my part, though. Let's see. This time I have a 12, and he has 14. I can do this because I can take -2 damage due to my carapace, so nothing happens. He has rolled a 14, where I definitely have not. I have rolled a 3, 6, 8, 9 total. I don't want to take that kind of damage, so let's use this to re-roll one of these dice. Let's re-roll this. If I get a 3, that'll be considered a critical because they're all the same number, and I will get to double that. So I'm going to go ahead and spend my 1-use seed and hope for a 3 or something higher than something other than a 1 or 2. It's a 5. All right, so 11, 12 to his 14 means I take 2, but I can stop 2. Good time to use the seed. And let's do it again. He's at 15, and I am at 9. And here we are back in this situation again. 15 to 9. Oh, that's going to hurt. And I can stop 2 of that. So 15 to 9 is 6. I can stop 2. I'm going to take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 5 health out of 10. I don't want to run away. I've already got him down to 6 health. Maybe, just maybe, he rolled a 12. And I rolled a 12. That's a bounce. Maybe I can get lucky on a roll. I did not. I think that he is going to show us in this learning game what happens when you get killed. All right, so I have 8. He has 17. So he is going to hit me for 9 minus 2 is 7. I'm at 5, so I die. So here's what happens. The Dark Elf stays there. This comes off. He will be back at full health. He will get all of my stuff drops there, and he's still standing on it. I will lose a life, go back to full health, and get all my AP back and return to start with nothing. I still have my kills. I have full AP, but my turn ends. So that is it. That is the difference between the first game where I played solo and the game where you play multiplayer. You can die once, twice. The third time you die, it's done. Any adventurer dies outright, it's over. So that puts me back to start with full health, but I got nothing. But I can go back around and get this, but we're going to have to defeat this elf at full health again. The Elf of Health, or the Health of Elf. Okay. All right, so that ends my turn. That means Big Tree gets to go. He doesn't even know what's going on over here. Do I want to go back and get all the stuff? Brave through the quicksand? Or do I want the elf? I think we need to continue to explore and expand this map. I'm going to get a chance to go over there and fight him again. Or I can work him down to where we can pair up and get an extra die against him. These are the things that you've got to worry about. In group play, I know 2 guys in my team would probably take him and bring him back, and 1 guy in my group would probably say, no way, I'm exploring. So I'm just going to roll a die to see what happens. On a 1 to 2, he says, no way, I'm not coming to help you. And on a 3 to 6, there it is. No way, I'm walking off. I'm walking off. So he's going to spend an AP to reveal. Let's reveal this one. Looks like a corner turn heading down. I think we're okay with that. He says, well, let's spin another AP to reveal another. South. South says, aha, look what I found. I found a seed. This is the yellow seed. The yellow seed says, walk between webs and do not roll for spiders. So immune to poison, and now he can walk between webs and not even roll for spiders. I want to read for better clarification because he might not even need to spend AP to do it. It says, do not roll for spiders, and protects everyone on the tile. That's all it says. Okay. Well, let's use an AP to walk up to it. And we know that if I roll a six-sided, as long as I don't get a 1, I can grab that thing. And I got a 4. Let's pick it up. And now I have this. Walk between webs, do not roll for spiders. That's great. Now here's something I need to look at real quick, like on those, because these are taking up inventory slots and I don't have a lot of inventory. You have to release all 4 seeds to lift the curse. You may walk past them with no effect. But if you recover, roll a 2 to 6 to get it. If you roll a 1, you fight a monster. When you release it, it's bound to you. It remains in your possession until you die. Whereas it will be bound to the next adventurer that picks it up. Gives its bearer special powers. That's all it says. I assume that this takes up an inventory slot, which means you're probably going to have to ditch stuff to get all of them where they need to go. He had 2 of them. All right. I think anything you pick up is inventory, so there we go. You're going to have to use up your other stuff. That's what I was trying to clarify. So I have an action point left. Let's see what's below. And we're still working our way down there. Oh, this is the pit. This is where you would drop down and start a whole branch adventure off based on Bag of Dungeon 1, the first one, if you so chose to do that. But in this case, it is a pit, and you got to jump across it. You can jump across the pit. If you roll a 3 to 6, you succeed. On a 1 or 2, you fall into it. And if you're the first adventurer to enter the pit, you must draw 2 monsters and fight each one in turn. You may escape. Oh, you may not escape or request a tag. If you die, any surviving monsters remain in the pit. If you survive, you may climb out of the pit, stay on the tile, and continue on to your next turn. It looks pretty dangerous. It looks like we might want to just go up and go the other way. When I revealed this, there should have been a monster there. And now I'm down. Okay, I'm going to avoid the pit. I'm going to use 1 action point to go back into the webs. And guess what? I don't roll for spiders or anything. So I'm good. I'm going to reset this on action points. I'm going to go over here to Dead Boy Floyd and say 1 moves here. I don't need this. I'm fully healthy. 2 going to put me into quicksand, so I've got to roll for quicksand. A 3, I'm safe. On a 1 to 2, I would come up in a swamp, and I have not seen a swamp as of yet. And I don't see anything that looks swampy. It would place a swamp token on it. Nothing here looks funky. I almost want to dig through the bag and look, but I'm not going to. So I escaped that. 1 AP, move. 1 AP, move. 1 AP, move. I'm coming back for you, Dark Elf. I'm going to put all this back to here. That was my turn. I'm going to move this back to Wiseleaf. Wiseleaf says, I'm going to use an AP, go up against this monster. So I can move down this way and avoid that pit if I can. So the monster is going to come out. And he looks like a Ceropod. 7 health, 1 die plus 3. Okay. So he has 7 health. That means he will drop an item. He does 1 die plus 3, and I'm rolling 2 die plus 3. Alright, 1 plus 3, 2 plus 3. Let's put him on it. Alright, I think this is the first example we've had. He rolled a 4 plus 3 is 7. I rolled doubles. If ever you roll all the same number on your dice, it's considered a critical, and you take the value of the dice and double it before adding any bonuses to it. So that would be 24 plus 3 versus his 7. It's going to be more than enough to decimate him. It's just, you're tired of messing with these spiders. I'm tired of these pits everywhere. I got me a seed. I'm immune to the spiders. I'm immune to the poison. This dang bug. I'm sick of these Ceropods in this dungeon. Alright, so I'm going to take him. Boom. And I'm going to get an item. So let's dig around into the item bag of many things. And it looks like it is a spiked shield. I cannot use boots, armor, or shields. Well, he can use shields. -1 to combat and -1 to damage. And I got nowhere to use it. I've got a seed. I got these little worms I can eat. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to leave the shield there. I think that's what happens, so somebody else can pick it up at another time. You may drop unwanted items on your current tile. You can switch items, spells, or weapons freely between your inventory spaces, even during combat. Alright? So, let's just leave that spike shield hanging there and say, can we please get on with it? Let's reveal the tile below, which is, guess what? Another poisoned vine. If I go this way, it dead ends. If I go this way, it keeps going out. So we have a poisoned vine. Well, let's move on to move. I'm immune to poison. That's what happens. Those are 2 of the ones we're going to have to heal. So them being close together like that at the end of the game, dropping those seeds off, might help. Let's reveal what's to the right. And we got another turn here. We want to turn down, we want to turn up. Let's turn it down. All these corners, that's going to eliminate some of that line of sight stuff. Then we use 1 more to move there. And that's going to replenish him. Move this over here. And he says, you know, I want my stuff back. So do I want to go fight him and then come back? Or do I want to just go straight in there and fight this guy? I'm rolling 3 dice with no bonuses. He's rolling 2 with a +5. I have no re-rolls, any of that. I am hanging on a thread of life. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Puts me here. Let's see what this guy is. And don't let him be the Dark Elf's twin brother. Let's see what he's going to be here today. We have, a Mandrake, 1 die plus 3. Oh, he has 4 health, so he's neat. He has 4 health, 1 die plus 3. It says kill on the first hit or he screams. And if he screams, you flip this over and fight the purple side, which is a probably a heftier beast of sorts. So he has 4 health, which means he's not going to drop anything anyway. That was my whole point of going over here, was to get some loot. But if he does scream and flip, that purple side will have some loot. So I'm rolling 3 dice straight out, and he is rolling 1 die plus 3. And I have to kill. Oh, I'm not going to get him straight out. Maybe I am. 7. That was a 1. 8. And he has 4 plus 3 is 7. I only hit him for 1 point. 1 point. Ah! He screams, he screams, he screams. No, it hurts. And he flips him over. Boom. Now he is the Soul Sealer. The Soul Stealer. Sorry, it's a little dark. I got the lighting figured out, but I don't have a lot behind me because I tried to keep the glare off of these things. I do have some side lights here. I can up a little. That might help. Oh yeah, Soul Stealer. He's going to do 3 die plus 4. He's going to have 15 health. Yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. What's the next step on Runaway? 3 die plus 4. I'm rolling 3 dice. I have nothing else that's going to help me. If I run away, I'm going to take damage. But there is a runaway method. Combat steps. Escape. At the start of any combat round, you may escape to an adjacent tile. Spend 1 AP and take 1 direct damage. Well, fortunately, I had 1, and I'm going, run away. And now I'll spend my last AP, and I say, you know, my chances are better with this Dark Elf, and once I get all my gear, I might be able to go back against that guy or go further south. That will reset that. And I take a point. Ow! All right. Moves the first player token over this side. Let's spin an AP to see what's down. And we are heading down. Man, are we like halfway through these tiles? That's crazy. All right, that goes back that way. Let's keep going this way. Now this is a boneyard, and it's like that one. So we're going to put a little token on it. And folks, I think we've reached a point to where we're going to break this into multiple parts. I'm going to leave this on the table, and we're going to see how this thing turns out in the end. Until then, this is the Wizard, Wizard of Mo Games. We are on the Wizard's table, and we will finish this thing out at another time. See ya.